make the wire wrapped teardrop earrings, we've got a pair of matching faceted teardrop crystals. These are 7mm by 11mm, and they're drilled through the top this way, and that's important for this earring. And then we've got a pair of earring wires in silver. We've got the wire we're going to do the wrapping with. This is 24 gauge silver wire. And for tools, we're going to use round nose pliers and wire cutters. Before we get started, I want to show you what we're going to make. This is one of the earrings, and I already made this one. And I wanted to show you how it is a wrapped loop at the top, and then the same piece of wire wraps around and around and around the top of the teardrop crystal in kind of a messy fashion. And so this is what we're going to do when we make our second earring. To do that, we're going to cut a piece of wire from our 24 gauge wire. We need a piece about 7 inches long. And I already cut a piece for us like that. And the first thing we're going to do is make that wrapped loop, this one at the top here. We're going to make it about 1 inch from the end of our wire using round nose pliers. And to do that, I'm going to pinch the wire about 1 inch from the end, and I'm going to bend the wire up over the top jaw of the pliers, crisscrossing the wire and making a loop. So you can see the loop there. And then I'm going to hold the loop across and straighten out the long wire, and then I'm going to take the short wire and wrap it around the neck 2 times like that. That's how you make a wrapped loop. And then I'm going to trim that little tail with my wire cutters, and I'm just going to reach in there and hold on to the tail so it doesn't fly off and trim it. So now we've got our wrapped loop that's going to be at the top of our earring. And now we're going to slide on our teardrop. So we're going to feed it onto the other end of the wire. We're going to slide it almost all the way down, but we don't want that wire, the wrap loop, out at the end there. We want it up at the top. So we need to eyeball how far do we need to bend this up so that this winds up on top. You can see here it's supposed to be on top. So I think that's about the right length, and I'm just going to grip it and bend it with my fingers so that winds up on top. And then I can use my round nose pliers to straighten this up right a little bit like that. So now that's the right shape. And next we want to bend the other end of the wire up to form the other side of that triangle. So you can kind of see there's a little triangle there. Now that we've done that, I can take this wire, I'm going underneath those 2 wraps that are already there, and I'm going to make a wrap. This is the beginning of my wraps. And now I'm going to start wrapping around, each time going under the wrap before it. I'm going around and around, and I'm going down the teardrop crystal. And my goal is to go all the way down until I cover up that hole where the wire is coming out. So I'm just going to go around and around. And like I said, this is supposed to be messy. These are trying to line up, and I'm trying to make them messier than that. Now that I've reached the bottom where it's covering up those holes, I'm going to start going back up, and now I'm going to make it even messier. I'm going to kind of crisscross it a little bit, make it a little loosey-goosey as I bend it around so it has a little bit more of that handmade look. Now when I get to the end here, this tail does not want to bend around, and that's just fine. What we can do is just trim it at this point. So I'm going to reach in there, trim off that little piece, and I can mush it down a little bit. We're not going to hide those ends. They're just going to sit there. No one will notice them at all. And then all I have to do is feed on my earring wire like that. And I can close that little loop a little bit if I need to. But that is the match, so that now we have a pair of wire wrapped teardrop earrings.